And forced labour means work which is forced, exacted from a person under menace of a penalty, under a threat, and for which the person hasn't volunteered. So it's basically work in which people find themselves trapped and which they can't get out of without fear of punishment or some form of threat, either to themselves or to their families and so on. So this is forced labour. Trafficking is one of the routes into forced labour. Trafficking is the means by which people might be deceived in poor countries of origin by false promises of well-paid employment in a richer country. They might pay vast amounts of money to the intermediaries, to the traffickers who make this movement possible. They may be transported under inconceivably bad conditions, and we hear of tragic cases whereby people are moved in trucks or hidden in very, very nasty conditions and don't even make the journey. Those who do make the journey might find themselves in their destination country, but in conditions of employment that bear no relation to what they were promised at the outset. So basically that's the mechanism by which trafficked people will end up in a forced labour situation from which they can't escape. And if they try to escape, they will be denounced to the authorities by their exploiters, who can easily turn them over to the police, which will result in immediate deportation. They might anyway often not have proper travel documents, or if they have documents, these have been confiscated by their employers. So there are many different means. Some of them are very overt, physical violence, but others are much more subtle. For example, the idea of making threats against family members back at home. If people, for example, have taken out loans in order to finance their movement, their payment to the trafficker, and the debts are actually lodged back at home, then threats can be made back to remaining family members that if these debts aren't repaid, then, terrible things will happen to them.